Welcome back to the Sports Source on Saturday. This segment brought to you by Madisonville Marine. Joe Special and the team have all kinds of new boats and great prices to share with you when you visit 411 North in Madisonville. It's their 45th year as East Tennessee's top boat dealer. Steve Sloan is away dealing with some health issues right now. We wish him the best. I know he looks forward to getting back into the office. Visit Madisonville Marine this week or check out madmarine.com. There's no better place to buy a boat. All right, I figured out what the deal is with the University of Tennessee. Now, you look there, there's a map of Knoxville, and that's where the UT sits. Okay, if you look at it, you don't notice anything. But if you stare really hard, you realize it's the volunteer triangle. Inside there, compasses don't work. What's up is down. What's black is white. Smart people walk through. You could bring somebody from MIT in to run your football program, and as soon as they cross the barrier inside the volunteer triangle, they go from, well, what we'll have to do is we'll have to fix this to, what is my name? Why am I here? They just, a red nose appears, their hair grows, white paint, they're clowns. It's amazing. What's normal elsewhere is never normal inside the volunteer triangle, and here's what I'm getting at. People have said, we finally get a guy who's a football man to run the program. That'll get it fixed. No, didn't make any difference. We finally got UT people over there. Randy Boyd, Phillip, UT people. We always needed Vols. No, same predicament. We got to get everybody on the same page. Chancellor, president, all on the then it'll work. No. It may work elsewhere. That stuff may work. It does not work inside the volunteer triangle. It's amazing to me that you're left with this only at Tennessee kind of situation. But it happens repeatedly, and I wanted us to kind of rank where the current mess fits. And where you are, before we show you this, I think where you are is you've taken your football program and you've put it in a medically induced coma. You've said, we need to take out a major organ. We can't afford to get rid of it right now. Well, we can't just pause time. The world's going to keep moving, so what do? We can't let this guy hire anybody. Let's put it in a coma. So you've put the program in a medically induced coma basically right now where the program can't do anything. He's not going anywhere because you can't afford to get rid of him yet. So you're just sitting there. Where does this rank? Let's go ahead and put up the top 5. This was my view. These guys may disagree. I had number 1 as the Jones. They let it go on and on and on. Curry never steps on the John Gruden nonsense, so people believe that. Now you've got an alternate universe of people who think that Gruden had actually said yes and was coming. Curry then winds up disappearing somewhere over the United States. Just goes AWOL. The Schiano thing blows up. Fulmer comes in. He's always waiting in the wings to grab the AD spot. They hire Pruitt. That was the king daddy. That was like 2-3 weeks of madness. That ranks number 1. Number 2.
Wasn't Curry in the volunteer triangle?
Yeah, he got lost.
He got lost.
There you go. I hit my barrier, but that's what happened.
Lost the internet connection.
He lost the connection while flying over the volunteer triangle.
Right.
Number 2, I had Kiffin leaves in the dark of night. Everybody goes crazy. You burn a couch. You got planes. I put that on there because if you remember, there's people flying all over the country. You had this guy flying over to meet with this coach. You had Hamilton flying to meet with this coach. This booster going over here. You had people that they were meeting with saying, well, wait a second, if I'm so high on your list, why am I not meeting with your AD, Mike Hamilton? You have a chance to get Cutcliffe. You don't want to bring him back because it's too close to Fulmer. Kippy Brown, you really mistreat him. You give him a BS interview while 2 of your boosters are on a plane in Ruston, Louisiana, signing the deal with Derek Dooley. So I had that 1-2. In terms of just sheer long-lasting pain and split in the fan base, the whole Fulmer Majors thing, that's in there. Pearl with the barbecue, and then he lies about the photo to the NCAA, and then in pure Tennessee fashion, you fire him with cause and hand him $1 million gift on the way out the door. Hey, thanks for screwing us over. Insane. Finally, the NCAA had all the warning signs there for you. We went and showed them on this show. We read the NCAA's website. Apparently Dave Hart didn't. He just trusted Donnie Tyndall, who said, well, I didn't know what was going on. Turns out he did. Turns out he was doing it at Southern Miss, too. So that's my top 5. You guys may differ. Where does this current thing rank at the moment?
Can I jump in here?
Yes.
I'll go 4B. And I think it's subject to change, but right now I don't think it rises to the level yet of the ones in that top 4.
Okay.
Because those had quite an impact, or they lasted quite a while. But right now I have this as 4B.
Yeah, this is kind of it's like a little baby. It's a little baby scandal. And, it depends on how you play out. If this investigation's still going on and Pruitt's still looking around.
Or the investigation finds something really bad.
Yeah,
trouble.
and you're sitting there. Yeah, you're sitting there in spring. It's March 15th, and
We're
Pruitt's
still doing
sitting
this?
there. And we're talking about when's this investigation going to end?
What year?
That's going to that's going to slowly rise up the list. And of course, if you do make a move, we still have a coaching search, which Tennessee proved last time can always be an adventure.
Yeah.
So it's a little baby, right? I'd put it around. I'm kind of with between 4 and 5, but a lot of growth potential.
Yes.
Say.
Oh yeah,
it's still alive.
That's right.
The upside is high. This is the
Here-
NBA draft to be number 2.
Here's the thing too, and I know that some people will. I won't even give you my email, but if you look at that list, 4 of the 5 occurred after Doug Dickey was athletic director.
Yep.
I think when you look back at what Doug Dickey did as an AD, I think he continues to rise in my mind as far as being an outstanding athletic director. There were things that happened under his watch, and he handled them, and he never got such a mess like this. Now, the Major's former thing was personality thing, right? That was more of that. It wasn't NCAA and all this other nonsense that's going on. But I think this underscores to me how good of an athletic director Doug Dickey was, and how Tennessee has struggled at that position since.
Even with that one, where he was very much involved, where you take a legend of your program. Before Peyton Manning, Johnny Majors was the poster boy for University of Tennessee. You take him, and he's had winning records, and he's coming off 2 SEC titles, and he had 1 year where it was a down year, and they still go 9-3, and you push him out over that. That was poorly handled. But the guy pushed him out for did elevate it to a national title. So even when he handled it in a messy way, things worked out for Doug Dickey. People forget how much smoke there was. There was a lot of smoke that would pop up. Phone scandals.
Yeah.
You had magazines coming in writing articles about
T. Martin deal. You had a season ticket caper after the 1985 season with players where they had to suspend them X amount per game over like a 2 or 3 game. But he always handled those things, and they always came out on the other side.
But it was a different time.
But
in terms of the social media and a lot of other things. But yes, I mean, obviously that's true. I mean, I think of Doug Dickey. I think of the Iron Fist. I think of the way this is going to be, and tight lips and close ranks and get it done.
The irony is he was so unpopular because he left to go to Florida, and tons of people never forgave him. He was a tremendous athletic director.
That's why I'm not going to give up my email.
I think big picture, you look at all the football things on that list. It's all in the last 10 years or so. And with the exception of the 4 majors still. But I think you run into a sort of a chicken-egg question. Do these things happen because Tennessee hasn't been winning games? Because if you win, it covers up everything. Right. Everyone's fine.
And nobody's cheering on an investigation to get rid of Pruitt if they just went 8-2.
Or, you're starting to lose games and the dysfunction spreads. I don't know what the answer to that is. It's probably a little bit of both. But, that's kind of where Tennessee's at. Because if you're winning games, dysfunction kind of goes away because people are happy. And if you're losing games, everybody wants the ball. I got to fix this. I got to fix this.
Although I'll say this, you were winning in basketball and Bruce Pearl blew himself up. So there's it's the volunteer triangle, man. And I'll tell you where you are right now. Coma. You're in a medically induced football coma.
And you got a problem if there's a squadron of World War II airplanes in that Knoxville
fly
triangle.
out of the volunteer triangle. I'm telling you, you go in there, you walk in with a compass, it just starts swirling. All right. When we come back, let's talk about basketball for a little bit. The Vols had to bounce back after their loss to Alabama. They did. Was it a good enough bounce back? We'll discuss when we're back on the Sports Source.